Welcome to the Coach Scofray podcast, and we have started a series on Driven by Purpose and Passion using the Akosombo catering story, where I give a bit of background into where Kafui Aja lifted herself, or the mind shift that caused her to move from banking, one of the elite industry, to go into what we will call vocational skill or vocation, into what we call catering. So moving from banking into catering, where she got to establish Akosombo Catering, which is ISO certified to offer services in airlines. And also, I brought the definition of purpose, because we're discussing driven by purpose and passion. Then I said that, in paraphrase, speaking from other academic research here and there, and I said that purpose is being intentional and attentional with stability in the long term with what your life means to this world, and committing time and resources to advance, so that when you see others become the best version of themselves because of their encounter with you, you feel fulfilled. So that is why we say in ontology, your ways of being. So that is what we define purpose to be. That the intentionality and attentionality in a stable long haul to what you believe you live for, that the why you are here to live for, and what it brings to you, the end game. You know, there was a research, I think in Australia, in the hospice, where people who were at the end of their life were interviewed. What are their major disappointments in life? At that point where they know life was done and wrapped, so they're transitioning into what we will call in the land of our ancestors. And the number one regret that came tops was that people didn't live for themselves. Rather, they did things for the applause, for the grandiose of the public. And anytime that research comes to mind, my heart feels heavy. Because if we were all to walk and live in the direction and the depth of our intention and our attention, we will walk what we call purpose-driven life. Because it is out of your purpose that you find meaning to life. So, what is the meaning to your life? The life you have. What is the meaning? What is the meaning to the life you have? Just reflect. Don't rush it. What is the meaning to the life you have? What is the use for the life you have? So on the bed where you are parting ways from this physical universe into the land of our ancestors, what will be the regrets you hold? That you didn't live, but only survived? That you couldn't find, like Kafui did, that even in the university she was still cooking, yet she was in pursuit of white-collar job. And one of the things that excites me about Kafui's story is her commitment to diligence, her commitment to excellence. And sometimes it comes so easy that when you look at her now, she's all over the globe. You may think it came easy. One part that I even left out. How many of us remember Wache on Wheels? Wache on Wheels. That is where Akosombo Catering actually came from. Because out of your purpose, you craft, position, embed, and expand your identity. What do people identify you with? What do people say when you are not in the space? What do people identify you? Because tenacity, resilience, and endurance comes from the place and the pool or the pot of purpose. The meaning to life, the why you are here, Simon Sinek calls the why, your why you are here gives you an identity. It is around that identity you build your brand. I'm not going to branding yet, maybe another time more together, but I'm just exploring driven by purpose and passion, and we are still discussing the purpose aspect of being driven by purpose and passion. I think there was a time in one of my videos elsewhere I was talking about happiness. And if you look around the world is in deficit of organic happiness. Because when there is a shift to ways of doing things, forgetting that we are human beings, that is where we go out there looking for, in search of happiness. And I think I've explained eudaimonia and hedonistic happiness. When it comes from within, from the brooks within, then it gets you to want to walk and live in your purpose. Because when you identify your why, it is then so easy for your passion to drive the why. It means I'm beginning to introduce passion. When you build the total car, you know that every car has got its purpose. You see, sports cars don't even have 4 seats. Some have got only 1 seat. Some have got 2 seats. The one with 2 seats is for the this is the Safari. Yeah. The Safari, the sports cars used for Safari, that has got 2 seats. Because there is the main driver and the one reading the map. Then the one they use for the Formula 1 is always 1 seat. I'm just bringing you back home to begin to appreciate what purpose is. So the purpose of a Formula 1 car is not the same as the purpose for safaris. The purpose of Formula 1 car and the purpose for safaris is not the same for exotic cars. The luxurious cars, they are not the same. That is how come now there are the luxurious cars where look at the technology you are putting in, the AIs. When you sit in, it's if you have not put on your belt, the seat belt, the car won't spark. That is the luxury end purpose. And when all these cars are done in design, in chemistry and everything, something must make it move. Passion. Passion is the what that drives the vehicle called purpose. Passion is the energy or the fuel. So when I was talking to Kafu, she said that, oh, it reminds me when I was in grade 3 or 4, I was still able to sell snacks. It reminds me that when I was in the university, I was passionate to cook. When I was moving from banking into catering, I was passionate. And anyone who came into contact with Kafui Aja would know that her passion for excellence and the energy she put in what she does is infectious. So passion is the energy in the moment you exert about what you believe you are here to live for. So what are you passionate about? Because remember, purpose has got direction and depth. And passion has only energy. When you don't direct fuel like petrol or gas, what happens? When you don't give meaning to gas In my part of the world, when we say petrol is petrol, we're talking about the liquid that drives our cars. I know in elsewhere they will say gas. So allow me to feel at home, because in my authentic self, petrol, fuel, energy. If you don't give petrol, for example, a direction, meaning, and depth, what is it? It becomes explosive. One of the, in the history of Ghana, one of the moments we don't want to remember, I think it was 3rd June 3rd. We don't want to remember it. Where a whole filling station exploded at the time there was flood, and we lost lives. Meaning, one of the reasons why we are all over the place with tomorrow you are doing this, the next day you are doing that, you are striving for this and everything. You have the energy. Passion. But I think Socrates says something. I said, an unexamined life is not worth living it. When you don't give your passion alone is not enough. If you get time to hear the full story of Akosombo Catering, passion alone is not enough. Because Scofray said that on the tarmac with the MD of the then bank she was working for, there was a word that all this that you do you know you can run your own business? Let me tell you how I also got into coaching. In 2001, I was in a training called Life Design, and one of the facilitators called Betty Sprue, I was the first person to answer a question that the trainers put to us. The first person to answer. I don't even know what I said. I don't remember. But I remember what Betty said to me. In the pool of the team, she said, this young man, by then, if you look at my cheekbones, they were like this. You look at my forehead, there was no meat on my forehead. Today, I look fine small. Betty said that this gentleman is a diamond in the rough. So, this is where I bring you to the place that, and that period, in that era, I was full of energy. Energetic, driven by energy, passion. It was that statement that got me to pause. To say, that energy I have, what is it meant for? Every energy is meant for a purpose. So the energy you have, the seamless drive you have, is meant for a purpose. The danger lies in that we don't know what that energy is meant for. You, the energy you have, what is it meant for? Passion. What is your passion meant for? Your what? What is it meant for? What is your passion meant for? Because you need to be driven by both purpose and passion. But all of us has got something we're passionate about. But a lot of us are blind to what we are purposeful, for which those or the passion or the energy we have are meant for. At least I've touched on both sides a bit. We will go deeper into what the relevances are with purpose and passion in the next episode. I am Scofray Nanayao Yabua, transformational executive coach, Africa's first MBIT Black trainer, Africa's first Black male MBIT master coach. I'm committed to your commitment to live your life in fulfillment. See you soon.